If you haven't done so already, make sure to subscribe, like this video right now, and turn on the post notifications. I know I just reminded you. Do it.
This is wonderful. Everything is going our way.
What did you do to my drink? You what?
Alright, what's good, y'all? She in her mood a little bit. Welcome to Talking It Out, man. Yes, sir.
Say my name. No one is around you. Say, baby,
Alright, there we go. What's good, y'all? Welcome to another episode of Talking It Out. I know it's been a little minute. A little minute. How long? When was the Quasi episode? Actually, it hasn't been that long because his I dropped in the summer. It's been like a month. I know I said I was gonna be here all summer, but we ran into some not technical difficulties, but what would it be called? Basically, I couldn't get swipe access to the studio that I use. Y'all know I record on campus, and I couldn't get swipe access to the studio, but we're here now. So no more excuses. We're gonna be recording mad episodes. It's August right now. It's August, what is it? August 3rd at the moment. So we're gonna be recording mad episodes. We're gonna be pushing them out every week. But today we got a guest. We were just talking about how he's actually the final guest of this group chat that we have. Is named after the dorm that we live in. And he's literally the last one who has not been on an episode yet. We got my dog. I'm gonna let him introduce himself. Just say your name, major, where you're from. Go ahead.
All right, what's up, y'all? My name's Isaac. My major, I'm electrical engineering, concentration in business and technology, and I am from Atlanta, Georgia.
What year are you?
I'm a rising junior.
Rising junior. And y'all already know who I am. If you don't by this point, you're late. But that's okay. That's okay to be late. We accept people at all times. But my name is Martin Lopes, Teeny, whatever you want to call me, your host of Talking It Out. Student at Boston University, rising junior, computer science, Pawtucket, Rhode Island. Doesn't really matter as much as my dog Isaac here. Before we really get into anything else, for real, we're gonna play a game. We're gonna play a little game for you. And in honor, do you watch the Olympics?
I have. I kept up with the women's gymnastics. I saw the shooting.
The shooting? Oh, the shooting one. Yeah, the Turkish
Olympics,
guy. Yeah. I was like, I was like, Trump? I was like, okay, the shooting. You actually watched it? You didn't just see the pictures?
No, yeah,
I
actually sat down and watched it. But that's mainly been it. I need to go back and watch some of the other ones.
Okay. Yeah, I've been tuned into the Olympics like a decent amount. I watched, I think it was literally the opening day. I watched like diving, men's beach volleyball, swimming, saw Ledecky. I've seen basketball too. I saw some gymnastics. I saw some Mumbios when like the event was live. I've been tuned into some Olympics. I've always watched the Olympics a decent amount. So for today, your challenge, your game is I want you to just name the top 10. There's 15 on this list, but we're gonna do 10. The top 10 best Olympians / most decorated Olympians. This isn't necessarily based on gold medals or total medals. This list is just who they think are the best Olympians. Ooh. They could have even been there for 1 or 2 Olympics, but when they were, they went crazy.
Okay.
So this is just the top 10 Olympians. And I don't think, it's not just US, it's all countries.
Okay.
This is just Olympians. So you could start in any, it doesn't have to be in order, but just they have to be in the top 10. You can go ahead whenever you're ready.
Okay, well, I'm obviously gonna say Simone Biles. It's obviously gonna be up there.
Yeah, wait, let me confirm that one. As I just saw, she's number 6.
She's number 6.
Simone Biles, USA.
Simone Biles, Michael Phelps.
Yep, he's number 1.
Usain Bolt.
Bolt. Yep, he's number 2.
Okay. Let's see.
You have 1, 2, and 6.
I'm forgetting so many people in track right now. It's crazy. I know so many other track athletes.
You get 1 hint as well. Like this whole game, you get 1 hint. It could be any type of hint. I just can't give you like the person directly, obviously.
Okay.
But it could be like the sport, the country,
Serena? Has Serena ever played in the Olympics? Because there's Olympic tennis.
There is, but she's not in the top 10. She's 13th or 14th.
Oh, okay. Let's see. I'm trying to think. Who would count? No. Was he there last year? I'm trying to think who would be in basketball.
Mm-hmm.
Because I want to say
I'll give you. Let me think. I'll give you 3 wrongs.
3 wrongs.
3 wrongs out of 10.
3 wrongs out of 10.
Yeah. So you've already gotten one.
Okay.
Again, you have a hint that you could use whenever you want.
Sure. I'll use the hint now then.
Okay. I'll tell you. I want to give you like a good hint. There is. Oh, okay. One of them is like the most decorated woman swimmer.
Oh, shoot, I'm not gonna
Definitely
lie.
in USA. She's USA.
In USA. Ooh,
Competing like in this Olympics as well. She's not like old.
she's competing in this Olympics as well. Oh my goodness, I didn't watch the women's swimming.
Oh, you don't know at all?
That's kind of bad. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't watch it.
Okay,
I didn't watch any of the swimming.
Okay,
yet,
I'll give you a different hint. 2 of them are track athletes.
Yeah, I knew 2 had to be in track.
2 of them are track athletes. One of which is a woman. One is a male. Yeah, the male is old. The woman recently stopped.
Recently stopped. Oh, what's her name? She I think she was one of the ladies that raced against Sha'Carri recently, right? When she got the world championships.
I know who you're talking about.
Is it her?
No. Are you talking about the Jamaican?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's
it's
not her. Nah, that's a good guess though. That was a good guess. It's not her. We talk Shelly-Ann?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no. It wasn't. It's not her.
Okay.
That's a good guess. I'm actually kind of shocked, but nah. It's USA.
USA.
She's USA. You'll know, like you know the name.
I know the name. Oh, that's bad.
I'd be kind of shocked if you like didn't know who this was.
USA. Oh. And she raced recently.
She like recently retired.
Recently retired.
Yeah.
Oh, recently retired.
Mm.
Oh. Why did Kev turn around and looked at me? Oh no. That means
who it is?
That means I need to know this person. Oh shoot.
Because honestly, out of this whole list, there's like you're probably gonna get at best two more. If you didn't get the swimmer, you're at best gonna get 2 more.
Oh, this is bad.
To be honest with you,
This is bad. All right, I'm gonna just at this point I'm gonna have to freestyle because I'm.
Okay, go ahead. Just throw names out there.
No, she wouldn't be most decorated because she only went to the Olympics twice. Is there anyone else in? Oh, you can't give me that hint. I was gonna say if there's anyone else in gymnastics on the list. Dang.
There actually is, but you wouldn't get her. Unless if you get this, that'd be the best pull I've ever seen on the internet. That'd be crazy. But you're not getting this.
What country is she from?
Fucking Romania.
Oh yeah.
You're not getting that game.
Dang, I don't know. I honestly
you want to
don't
give
know.
up?
Yeah, I gotta give
Fair
up.
Fair enough.
I'm just sound stupid.
At 3, yeah. At 3 we got Allison Felix. You know what Allison Felix is? Yeah. Allison Felix at 3. You want to try to finish it, Kevin? Go ahead. Yeah. Nah. He's not on it. Jordan's on it. He's the only ball player on it. But he's 15. He's not even in the top 10. This is just top 10. Jordan's the only ball player.
I was gonna say I should have waited.
There's one more track star.
I was gonna say Jordan, but I didn't know if Jordan.
But
would
Jordan's
actually
15th. He's not in the top 10.
He's 15.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's that old guy.
Yeah. And, I just learned about him the other day from Michael. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh my goodness. Oh, I know him. Oh, he's like, if it wasn't for Usain Bolt, he would be the best runner. What's his name?
Are you talking?
Oh, he's American too.
Yeah, he's USA.
Oh, he's black.
He's a coach right now.
He's black.
He's a coach at Texas? No, that's not the school. Wherever.
Is he the one from the? Is he the one who has the picture from the 1996 Olympics? The one where they're all holding the fist up. You know which one I'm talking about? They're like all on the podium.
I don't know if that's
him.
I don't know who. Carl Lewis.
That's him.
Carl Lewis.
The one who has the
Yeah,
the
he's
fist
like
up.
the
Yeah.
other than Usain Bolt, like before Usain Bolt, like he was
I don't know
the
who
face of track.
remaining person.
Yeah, the remaining we got Sawo Kato of
He's
Japan.
from a beach volleyball player.
Nah. That guy's a male gymnast. We have Isabel Worth of Germany. She's there's a horse, so I'm assuming
Oh, equestrian. The
that's what
equestrian.
it is.
I think
That's
that's
the
what.
sport.
Yeah,
Okay.
equestrian.
Dana Torres, she's a swimmer, USA. She's 9, and then at 10, Nadia Comenci of Romania. She's a gymnast.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. 11th is
I-
Flojo.
I knew
12th
the
is
list was
Taurasi.
gonna.
Oh, Diana Taurasi is 12th. Venus is 13. Serena's 14. Jordan's 15.
I knew the list was gonna be filled with gymnasts. I knew it was gonna be
Right.
like between. I knew it was gonna be like between gymnasts, track, basketball, and
There were 3
swimming.
swimmers. Yeah, there was
and
3
swimming.
swimmers.
Yeah, I knew
It was like 2 gymnasts, 2 ball players, 2 tennis, couple three track or 4 track, whatever it was.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was a decent list. If you could let's say you had 4 years, right?
Mhm.
4 years of just training. No, you're not even in school. Just training. What Olympic sport do you think you would qualify for?
Tennis.
Where? Oh, he said that quick. Why tennis?
Because I've done varsity tennis
Oh,
before.
okay.
So I feel like if I started where I left off
Mhm.
in high school from doing varsity tennis for those
Mhm.
4 years, if I did another 4 years on top of that,
Mhm.
I think I could be good enough, at least to be like D1 and like
Okay, so you definitely would.
collegiate
Yeah, that was gonna
tennis.
be my next question. What sport do you think, if you started as a freshman in high school, you get 4 years of high school, no COVID, no nothing, just regular 4 years.
If I
what
took
sport
it,
did you
if
go
I
D1 in?
honestly took it very seriously, I think it would have been tennis.
Tennis,
I think
Okay.
it would have been tennis.
Okay. Do you think like in your actual 4 years that you lived, you could have went D1?
D1, questionable. I think I might have I think I might have shot for D1 and landed in D2.
Okay.
I think I would have
That's
shot for D1, probably landed in D2.
Okay. Did you try it all? Or you never?
Did I
you
try
never
it? No, I didn't try it.
Okay.
I didn't
He's
try
like,
it.
nah.
Bro, because like I was going to school for engineering, so to
Mhm.
me, I was like trying to balance doing engineering and tennis. I was
Yeah.
like, it's crazy.
Yeah,
you
there's
know,
no point.
Uche did it with track. I don't know
Mhm.
how he did, but I wasn't gonna try it.
Yeah, no, that's valid. One more Olympics question. What do you think is the most difficult Olympic sport?
Gymnastics.
Really?
Whoa.
I was having a quick I think
Honestly-
right, so the way I put it, I was asking someone the other day. So what do you think? There's like 2 different questions to difficulty. What do you think is the most difficult to just pick up and do as a sport, like as an Olympic sport, a random person to just do it? And then what do you think is the most difficult to be the best at, to win at, like to win in? And then what do you think is the most difficult to just do? I think the most difficult to just do is gymnastics.
Yeah. Well, I would argue the most difficult to just do would be either gymnastics, swimming, because I think people underestimate how hard it is to swim along an Olympic size swimming pool,
But
especially at the speed that you would have to be Olympic at it. I mean, if we're just talking about doing
no,
the
I
sport-
don't mean
Oh, you
do
talking
it at
about just,
Olympic
you talking about
level.
just
I
doing
mean,
the
just do
sport
it.
in general?
Yeah,
Oh
just
yeah,
do
yeah.
it.
Then yeah, gymnastics is up
Yeah.
there.
I think gymnastics, to just do it. I think you got gymnastics. I think you got skating.
Skating, yeah.
I think skating's, even though
yeah.
the only reason I wouldn't say skating is the most difficult is because like I guess little kids could do any sport
Yeah.
realistically, but like literal 7-year-olds could do moves that adults do.
Yeah.
Whereas gymnastics, even though like a little kid could do it, there's always levels. So
Yeah.
I feel like gymnastics is the most difficult to just do
Yeah.
at all, but to be the best at, I think it's track.
Yeah. I think, yeah. Oh, yeah. I was going to say, I would say gymnastics is close to with track as well.
Yeah.
Because, like, the thing is, the reason why Simone is so good right now and is, like, literally still, like, she's one of the oldest gymnasts out there.
Yeah,
if not the oldest.
I didn't even know
if
she was
not the
27.
oldest.
Bro,
Yeah,
I
she's
thought she was still like 23, 24.
No, she's been doing this for a while.
Yeah.
Like, and she's still like the number one in the whole world. Like, no
Yeah.
one has beat this woman for the past like 4 or 5 years in gymnastics. And I think what's like crazy about it too is the reason she gets those high scores is because of her difficulty.
Yeah.
Her routines are so difficult to do. No other gymnast is able to do it but her.
Exactly. Like, bro, I was watching it was is it called, it's not, is it Volt? It's something Volt, like where you hit a trampoline and you put your hands on the thing and you do flips, right?
No, not
There's
pole.
no pole,
No,
though.
not pole vault.
It's just Volt.
Yeah.
I think it's just vaulting.
Yeah.
She was doing that, right? Her first run, she goes through. She does it, lands it. I'm like, oh damn, like yo, that was pretty crazy. the judges, the announcers are talking about that was the most difficult vote of all time. Like literally, like they were like, that's the most difficult vote like that somebody could ever do.
Yeah.
I'm like on their difficulty scale meter,
she
whatever
has
they
the
vote.
highest difficulty
I'm like, yo,
on
what?
each sport, on the vault, on the uneven bars, on the balance beam, and on the floor.
Like everything. And then she went for her second run.
She has like
she did
6
it again.
moves
They
named
were like,
after her.
they were like, that's the second most difficult. I'm like, what the fuck? So she just out here pulling out the most difficult moves.
It's just crazy because and even when you slow it down, if you slow, like people have done like slow-mo videos where they slow down what she looks like in the air when she's doing. When you see the way in which she flips, and like kind of like, I don't know. It's like crazy to think, like, I'm like, she has to have such a good understanding of aerodynamics in her brain that she doesn't even understand to be able to make her body do that in the air. I'm like, she might as well be an airbender. Like,
that's what I'm saying. Like, she's cold. I remember I was literally thinking about it the other day. Prior to her though, was Gabby Douglas. Yeah. I'm old enough for that.
I've been seeing ads about Gabby Douglas on like Instagram and stuff. Yes, I'm scrolling through my story. Next thing you know, there's an ad about Gabby Douglas. I forget for what company it is, but it just keeps popping up, and I'm just like,
bro, she was cool. I remember seeing her on like Disney, like it was either Disney or Nick or some shit. Like when she was really popping, she used to be on shows and shit, like kids shows. I was like, yo, what the heck? That's Gabby Douglas.
Yeah.
But yeah, nah, she was prior to Simone. She was cool, but now Simone's running it. What other Olympians? We got Sha'Carri. She gonna win. Sha'Carri. She gonna win that 100.
Insane.
Noah, no bullshit. Some people saying Noah might have a run for his money. I don't know. I don't know too much.
I don't think so. I can see it, but I don't think so.
Yeah, that's fair. I just saw the heat today. It was like, who was in his heat? It was him, Sean, and then man, what's that dude's name? I just saw it. This little like dude from Great Britain. I think he's got to be Asian. I'm not even trying. Like he literally looks Asian, but he's from the UK. He's running for the UK team. He's the NCAA champion. Yeah, he won the NCAA nationals. He's like this little dude. I forgot his name though, but he won the heat. But Noah was in that heat. I think Noah got like second in that heat, but he obviously wasn't running 100%. Yeah. But yeah, nah. Noah, Sha'Carri, obviously Team USA. They had to assemble the Avengers, the Captain America, leading them all the way. Kevin Durant. There.
Oh yeah.
AE Ant-Man cooking up his own.
You seen the RDC World 1 video?
What?
Of the coaches? It was like a coach from like an opposite country, and he was like talking about like, guys, we got to beat Team USA, and the players were like, bro, no,
there's no beating Team USA.
It's not happening.
I'm sorry, bro. There's no beating Team USA.
That team was stacked. I was like, that's crazy.
That's easily the best Olympic team. I don't want to hear nothing. I know that the Dream Team was crazy for its time, bro. This team is not violating, but they're cooking the Dream Team. Like they're beating the Dream Team realistically.
Yeah, no, it's actually insane. I was like, imagine having the Olympic team as the All-Star team.
That's what I was saying.
That would be stupid.
Just nice, bro. But,
I think Coco Gauff is gonna win the
doubles.
For tennis, doubles, and
she's out of singles.
She's out. Oh, she's already out.
She's out. She's been out. Because tennis started a little minute ago. There was like a whole controversy about it, like how people were saying. I think like I saw a post about. I don't know like completely how the Olympics goes and like if there's only one set of singles and But I saw a post of it like a couple days ago how she was out of the singles and all she's left in is the doubles.
Honestly,
maybe I'm wrong.
I honestly haven't kept. That's another sport I need to watch. I thought I'd watch that one first, but I was so busy watching all the gymnastics stuff that I ended up passing up that. But I gotta go back and see that. But yeah, I wonder how do they do the rules for Olympic tennis? Is it like one set, 6 games?
It was or is it I didn't watch it. I mixed it up with volleyball. I didn't watch it. I have no clue, honestly.
Normally with regular tennis by like USTA rules, it's 2 sets, 6 games.
Okay.
So
what's a set?
A set is like you ever heard have you ever heard like the term like game set match before?
Like chess?
Yeah, in tennis. So in tennis, the whole thing is called a match. The whole like thing itself is a match. The games are the individual like hitting back and forth when they go like 15 love, 30 love.
Well, that's
like,
a game.
Yeah, you win a game. If you win 6 games, you win the set. You have to win 2 sets to win the match.
So you have to win 12 games?
Essentially, yeah. And it could go more like it could go even further than that, because obviously if one wins
Yeah,
a set, the other
1-1.
wins a set,
Yeah.
then you have the third set and you get to there, then you have tiebreaker, and tiebreaker could go for a long time. That's why tennis games can go up to like 4 or 5 hours of just straight playing.
Sheesh.
Like go back and watch some of like old Serena
Mm.
like games and stuff, like when she was like playing against, like when her and Venus were playing
Yeah.
against each other. Them games used to go 5-6 hours
Word.
straight, and people be
Sheesh.
in the stands for 5-6
Watching,
hours straight
yeah.
watching.
Do you think it should change it all? It should be shorter, or you think it's
No,
good
I
where it
mean,
is?
I think it's good. I mean, they've been doing it for the longest time
Yeah.
now. I don't see why they would change
Change
it.
it,
I mean, honestly, I feel like if it was shorter, it'd be less exciting
Mhm.
and everything. Because like,
Are the matches are the games quick or something? Like,
Not-
does
it-
one individual game feel like
it depends.
how long roughly is one individual game?
An individual game, I say, could last like maybe 10 minutes.
Okay.
An individual game could probably last like 10 to 15 minutes.
Mhm.
But if you have some, like, that's the other thing too. Sometimes games, especially with Serena, when she used to just go deuce,
Mhm.
because when you get to deuce, right, that's like when both have 40, it's
Mhm.
deuce. When you have deuce, you have to get the advantage, and then once you win the advantage, you can get the game. So
Okay.
let's say it's deuce, Serena plays, she wins.
Mm.
Now she has advantage, so it'll be add in on her
Mm.
side and add out on the other side, because she
Okay.
has the advantage. She has to win that to then win the game. If not, it goes back to deuce, and it can keep
And then it
doing
goes
that
deuce,
multiple.
advantage, damn.
Yeah, and it can keep doing that multiple
Okay.
times. And sometimes she's done it to where it went up. I think the longest one I've ever seen, she did it 10 times
Mm.
going to deuce. So like deuce advantage,
Deuce advantage, deuce
that 10 times
For one match.
for one game, and
like
that's one game, and she still had like 2 more games
Uh-huh.
to win that set.
Yeah.
So you see what I'm
Dang,
saying?
Yeah, tennis. I didn't like. I had an idea it was that long because I've talked to people about tennis before, but like that would take forever.
I think tennis is honestly the biggest endurance game
Uh-huh.
in all of the Olympics.
Okay.
Biggest endurance game. Like,
You
because
don't think some like other than like triathlon and shit. I feel
the
like
thing is,
triathlon,
the
they
thing
play
is though, it's
crazy.
the amount of time. It's the amount of time. You
Mm.
get what I'm saying? With
Yeah.
swimming, they swim across the pool, swim back, and everything. You'll
Yeah.
find out your results, and then you get to sit down for a minute and
Yeah.
stuff. With tennis, they're going at it for
Yeah.
like games.
Yeah.
Obviously, they have times in between where they take breaks and
Mhm.
sit. But like most of the time, it's going at it for like most of it. It's like if you like imagine going for 5 hours straight,
Mhm.
and for the 5 hours, you're playing at least about 4 of those hours,
Mm.
just consistently.
That's actually true. I was
You see
gonna
what
I
I'm
was gonna
saying?
rebuttal with like one of the track stuff, but still like the long distance stuff, but like
But even with
still
like
at the end of the
long
day,
distance-
it's at max what, like 10 minutes or some
yeah,
shit.
I
Like,
would say the
e-
only other sports that match up with tennis endurance is like triathlon.
Yeah, those things take like literal hours of like
decathlon,
heavy
stuff like that. Yeah.
heavy moving.
Because you're switching from like biking,
Yeah, you're doing
swimming,
too much. I don't know
running,
what they
like
be-
yeah.
what they're off of. But yeah, that's fair. That's fair for sure. I don't think we're missing any big athletes for the Olympics this year. Any major ones? I think that's it.
Yeah,
I think that's it.
I think that's about it.
So yeah, all I'm saying is USA, and CV, Cape Verde. You know, we have a boxer who actually he secured bronze already.
Oh really?
Yeah, he's already secured bronze. I think he's about to fight for silver and gold.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm happy about that. I reposted it. But anyways, enough Olympic talk. You did unfortunately lose the challenge. You got 3 people though. You got 3 out of, honestly, I'd say only 6 were really in the grasp.
Okay,
the other
so
people
half.
were like, come on, like who's getting that? So
Yeah.
you got about half of it. I didn't play a game today because I didn't feel like embarrassing myself. So y'all didn't see me play a game
It's
today.
crazy.
But anyways, we were talking a little bit earlier about like things that you wanna like. He was talking about how he thought of starting a podcast, like coming into college out of high school. Like that was one of the things you wanted to do. So like first, like what did you was engineering like what you always wanted to do? Like when you came from high school into college, was there any other like majors or any other routes that you wanted to go with?
No, engineering was not the first thought.
Okay.
Engineering was definitely the second thought.
Mm.
I originally thought I was going to come to college. I was going to be a music performance major, and I was going to do it for piano.
Okay. Oh damn. that was the plan. Sounds
Yeah,
a lot different than engineering.
Yeah, or I was going to come in music performance under clarinet, and then get good enough to piano to switch over to piano.
Okay.
And do that.
Okay. Why didn't you? Is BU even a school for that? Or like
Yes,
was there? Oh, BU was a good school for that.
Yeah, BU.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
CFA has a good music program.
Okay. Okay.
So
How come you didn't go that route?
Because money.
Money. Like they didn't offer you money for.
So I'll tell you what my old band director told me, because honestly, he's one of the major reasons I did not end up doing it. So I talked to him one time, and he was like, I was telling him how I was thinking about doing music performance, but he already knew at the time I was president of robotics at the school, right? And he was like, okay, Isaac. He was like, I'm gonna tell you something. He was like, if you can answer this for me, then you can do our. Then he said he'll allow me to, as if he could stop me from doing it. But he was like, I'll allow you to go and do music performance.
Yeah.
And he was like, what is the difference between a musician and a box of pizza? And I was like,
what did you say?
I didn't know. I was like, what is it? And I was like, do you know? Do you know what it is?
Like you're asking me right now?
Yeah,
the difference
do you know what it is?
Wait, what was the question? A musician and a box of pizza.
And a box of pizza.
The difference between... Is there a real answer?
There is a real answer.
The difference between a musician and a box of pizza... I don't know. One's got cheese. Like one's got money. I don't know. I got no idea. What
a
is
box
it?
of pizza can feed a family of 4.
Wow. And a musician can't.
Not because the problem about making that's honestly the number one problem in the music industry is figuring out a way to where to figure out how anybody who can go into it can actually make legitimate money.
Yeah.
Because everybody thinks that they can do music and everybody thinks they could be a musician. That's why a lot of newbie musicians normally don't end up making a lot of money going into that field. But he was like, yo, I know you like tech and stuff, why don't you, do STEM as like your actual like work thing and then do music on the side.
Yeah.
And so it was basically just telling me. And that's kind of what I've been doing so far is I go to school for engineering. But then eventually how I ended up on electrical engineering was I was like, okay, is there an engineering that I could do that combines my love for music with my love of STEM?
Okay.
And eventually I landed on acoustics engineering, which are like people who build like microphones, speakers, all this different stuff. They design that type of stuff. And they make very good money doing that. And basically I was like, okay, what kind of degree do I need to do that? And it was like electrical engineering. So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna be an electrical engineer. I'm doing electrical engineering.
Did you change that like within college? Or you declared?
I declared electrical engineering. I declared as electrical engineering.
Okay.
So
okay,
I came in, and that's why I ended up declaring my major as. But no, like.
Do you have any like? Do you ever wish you did come in on music? Like, do you ever regret it?
Not really. No, not really. I'm glad that I chose the STEM route because I like now I can obviously see the more of the path to actually get to where I want to be doing that type of stuff. Like at first it was kind of a little shaky, like, is this really the right thing? But but as time went on, I was like, okay, yeah, this is the right thing.
Okay. So you're still trying to like pursue, like, and as far as like with the music route, what you wanted to do, was it like you wanted to make a musical career out of it, or you always wanted to do the electrical, making microphones and stuff, or you wanted to actually be a musician?
I think I actually wanted to be a musician.
Okay, and is that still something you're trying to like do combined with the STEM? Or now it's just like electrical engineering with music? Yeah,
I would hope one day, like somewhere down the road, I've like actually done something, at least tried making music and stuff. If not, just be a regular musician playing like gigs and stuff on the side or something. But that is kind of something that like I still do now. Like I still practice a lot. I still do like practicing everything to get better with like, playing and everything so that one day I can like do legit gigs. And I guess that is like something that I really want to do. And I guess like shout out to Ian, who basically he came in, he's also in engineering, right? Computer engineering, and he's doing exactly what I wanted to do coming in, but was too afraid to actually try doing it first. I was like, he came in. I was like, this is crazy. I was like, he's a freshman. He came in, started a whole band, has a whole band. Shout out Sweet 09.
Shout out Sweet 09.
Has a whole band on campus and, was able to just start doing gigs and stuff. And he just figured it out. Because at first, that was the other thing, too, was I was like, I don't know where I'm going to find the people.
Yeah.
And then he was telling me, he was like, I just went around, found out there were people on my floor. One guy could play the bass underneath us on the next floor. I was like, wow,
everything fell into place.
It just kind of fell into place. And I'm like, man, like, so I guess that is one thing I wish maybe I would have just like, when I came in, just made it and been like, you know what, I'm going to do it. Like, I'm going to go, I'm going to try to find this people, start a band. But I honestly don't see myself doing the band route anymore, trying to actually do a band. I think I would just want to be independent for a little bit.
Okay. Just solo. Have you done any gigs in college?
Not actual playing gigs, but singing.
Oh, you sung?
Yeah. The brunch. Brothers United had a send-off brunch.
Yeah. I remember
I did that. And then I also did the Black graduation.
For this year? Seniors this year?
For the seniors this year.
Okay, how'd those go?
I think they went fine. I mean, honestly. Kev, were you there?
Yo, Kev. That nigga sleep. I genuinely think he's sleeping right now. Yo, Kev. Is it? Isaac was asking you something.
I was asking if you were there for Black graduation when I sung. You weren't there? Oh, okay. I think, no, Mercy and them were there. But, yeah, but I mean, well, honestly, obviously, if you ask me, I'm going to be hypercritical. Because like, that's one thing about musicians. We're always hypercritical of ourselves. So you ask me, I would tell you, I didn't do as great as I thought I could have. But, everybody else was like, oh, it was fine. It was good, So obviously, if they're gonna tell me that, I'm like, I gotta believe you. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and be like, are you sure? Like, I'll believe you. If you thought it was good, then I guess it was good.
I appreciate it.
I thought it was good. But yeah, but it was definitely nerve wracking though, because I mean, I really got set up because like, Caron, one of the program director at HGC.
I think I met her once.
She didn't really tell me that it was gonna be like on like the stage inside, because I thought it was gonna be like at the HTC, and it was gonna be like on that like little mini stage there and everything. It was gonna be like a nice little calm vibe to it. I pull up, she's like, "Oh, we're doing it inside." I'm like, "Sorry, like the performance?" She's like, "Yeah."
It was like where the fashion show is.
I'm at Mike is right here. I'm dead center on the stage.
Where the fashion show is, right?
Where the fashion show was. Dead center on side. Like literal like spotlight. Almost felt like the light was just like right on me. Microphone here. Stage. Bunch of people just laid out in the crowd. And I'm just like, I'm not gonna lie, I was so nervous. Because if I messed that up,
it was people we knew, right? Like it was black people.
Yeah, it was the people who just graduated. It was Uche, Maya, Bernie, all of them.
Class,
so I'm sitting there and I'm like, if I mess this up, I'm gonna mess up their black graduate. I'm gonna mess up their graduation.
Isaac ruined graduation.
I'm double cooked.
Isaac ruined graduation.
Not only are they gonna be like he can't sing, they're gonna be like you done messed up graduation.
Damn. But it went all good. Like people said,
it went good. It went good. Everybody like. It was honestly kind of funny because like afterwards I was like so expecting like because obviously the ceremony still had to go on. I was so expecting afterwards somebody to come up to me and be like, "Hey man, I gotta tell you honestly, like cut it." Like
but nobody did.
Nobody did. Everybody was like, it was good, it was cool. Most people didn't know what the song was, which I was surprised. It was Lift Every Voice and Sing, the Black National Anthem.
Oh, okay.
Which obviously like to be, I guess that's like another like diaspora disconnect where in my mind I was like, oh, everybody should know what the Black National Anthem is. I got up there sung it. I'm asking everybody, they're like, I don't know what this is. I was like, you don't know what this is? Like y'all never like sung it in school or something like that? They're like, no. I was like, oh shoot.
It's a culture shock. I've heard of like that term, like that song, but I don't like know the song personally. Like I wouldn't be able to play it in my head. But maybe if I heard it, I would know it. But
yeah, that was the other thing too. It was singing an anthem. Singing an anthem is so different than singing other songs.
Yeah,
because like it's like you have to be like grandiose
Mhm.
with it. It's got to have
It's a
like
nice word, grandiose. I like
yeah.
that. Go ahead.
That's the musician in me because
Yeah.
there actually is a term like called like grandioso,
Uh-huh.
which means to play grand or play
Yeah.
like with regal valor or
Mhm.
something like that.
Okay.
But there's one of those like it's gotta be like triumphant type songs.
Oh,
So
okay,
like
okay. That's
and it
valid.
has like a part of it where it's like
Mhm. Oh, okay, that's the type of style. I could
like it's
hear
like
it. Okay.
so like you gotta like really sing it with like that like you gotta hit it
Mhm.
like and it because if you don't hit it
Yeah,
it's not gonna sound
bang.
like
It's
how
not
it's
gonna
supposed.
bang how it needs to bang.
But luckily I put in the work, I put in the practice,
Uh,
it ended up turning out fine. Now
okay.
it would definitely not be no Beyonce if
Mm.
she came and sung the national. I think the other problem was I was restricted to a track. When you're
Mm.
singing as a musician or you're restricted to a track, you
Mm.
have to follow it exactly.
Yeah.
If you had a band with musicians,
Mm.
then you could slow down and
Oh,
they'll
I see
slow
what you
down
mean.
with you. So you could
Okay.
take your time
Mm.
and you could make it sound. And I'd like that better because like
Mm.
that's what most people do. Like
Mm.
if you ever watch Super Bowl
Yeah,
performances,
yeah.
they'll have a band or some
That's why the
orchestra
song sounds
playing where
differently
it can
than like
slow. Yes, yeah,
when
it
it's on
sounds
the
differently because
yeah.
they're able to slow down parts and like
Mm.
make it all dramatic how they want to and like
Yeah.
make it sound good that way. When you're stuck to a track, you got to sing the song exactly like the song was
Mm.
originally sung. So
Okay.
there's nothing much that you could do to it,
Mm.
but yeah. But
Okay.
it wasn't bad. Would I do another singer performance? Probably one day. Who
Why not?
knows?
Why limit yourself? Why limit yourself? Why limit
I,
opportunities?
yeah, I think I definitely want to do more like training though on my
Mm.
voice. Like obviously like I sing in church and like
Mm.
choir and stuff, which definitely helps with that. Singing on a regular obviously
Mm.
will help improve your voice.
Yeah.
But like I definitely want to like hopefully sit down with somebody one day who could actually analyze my voice so I could
Mm.
be better doing like independent gigs and
Yeah.
stuff. But yeah.
Okay. Okay. What's it looking like right now? Like, is there anything you're trying to cook up? Are you waiting for the school year? Have you been doing anything this summer? Or you're just
Mostly
kind of cooling on it.
most of it hasn't been with singing, it's been with playing.
Okay.
I've been trying to get good enough to eventually do like playing stuff
Mm.
and everything during the school year to
Okay.
eventually do playing stuff. Obviously playing like regularly at the church
Mm.
is like one of the things that I want to do, become like one of the regular musicians there.
Mm.
And then like if like opportunities present themselves to actually do like playing stuff outside of that, then like yeah, I'll do it.
Okay. Okay. And what about as far as your major? Like you got internship?
Yeah, I have an internship.
How's that going?
It's been going good. Where I work at Yobi, it's a voice tech company.
Mm.
So basically what we do is we analyze analyze people's voices and do
Mm.
stuff like noise canceling and all that. So like
Mm.
imagine like you're in like a crowdy like for example, one of the clients we're working for right now is United
Mm.
and they want to be able to be like, hey, you know, when we speak in our PA system where everybody can hear us, we want to be able to mute all the noise in the background so that you
Yeah.
only hear the person who's speaking into the microphone.
Mm.
And then we want to make sure that the microphone will identify that person's voice
Mm.
and know that it's them. And then if anybody else tries to speak into it, it won't work. So it only
Mm.
works if they speak
Okay.
into it,
Okay.
basically. So basically it's voice transcription
Mm.
and voice recognition
Mm.
at the same time.
Okay. And like when does the internship end?
Like end of this month,
Okay.
basically.
Okay.
Yeah.
So do you
Like,
think you'll like
I'm basically already done with it, but like
Okay.
I said, I would come back in like basically like the kind of that week before school
Mm.
starts to kind of just like finish up some things because like I'm
Yeah.
going home tomorrow.
Yeah,
So
you're
yeah, so
leaving.
like
You're going back tomorrow.
I'm basically done. We're basically
Yeah.
just wrapping stuff up. So
Okay.
we're basically already done. Kind of got our salutes, applauses, all that.
Mm.
So
Okay. No, that's valid. Yeah, I got my internship. My internship literally it ends this upcoming week, like the 6th or the 9th, whatever it is. Like it basically ended
Yeah.
this past Friday. I had a final presentation for it. Y'all gonna see the TikTok day in the life for that. Y'all probably would have already seen it by the time this podcast drops.
Mm.
So yeah, my internship has been going. It honestly went really well. It was a great experience. It was my first ever internship, something that I never really experienced before. Having a lot of personal time versus like where school, everything like things are. It's more of a straight railroad track. Like
Yeah.
you know what to do with a real world job. It's like a lot of the control is in your hand. A lot of responsibility is in your hands, which I like. I'm cool with. I think I'm a responsible, mature person. So it was good to like learn how to balance that
Yeah.
on the fly, to be honest. But now we're gonna get into some side questions, some side
Okay.
bullshit questions. You watch some of the podcasts, so I feel like you already know somewhat what's coming.
Oh shit.
As far as the first question, we always keep it the same. Y'all already know. Come on, if y'all got some new stories, drop it in the comments for us, or hit me up. I'll put you on the podcast myself. But Mr. Isaac, can you tell me your best and worst? You already know. You already know. Wrist story. You already know.
What can I say?
You feel me? You can start with the best. You can start with sometimes people that don't have one. If you don't, you don't. But
Okay, I'll start with the worst.
Okay.
We'll end on a good note.
We'll end on a good note.
We'll start with the worst.
I like that.
What is the worst?
See if we got a worst. While he thinks, I'll think for y'all if I have one. As far as worst, do I have a worst? Honestly, like, bro, I really don't be as far as the worst story, I don't have one. I don't do such activities anymore. That's not the life I live. I don't really talk to women unless you're the one, and most of them aren't. I know who is. But anyways, Isaac, do you have your story yet?
Yes. So yeah, both of these stories also, I don't do this anymore. Mm-hmm. So, but these are from the past. Mm-hmm. So
there's no shame. I was just saying, there's no shame in it.
No, but the worst is there was someone I liked freshman year. And
this is a freshman year story. Mm-hmm. Okay. This is just some background information. Freshman year, first semester, second semester.
I think it was first semester.
Okay. All right.
Like this person. And then somebody who I had told that I liked the person had told the person that I liked her.
Okay.
And then basically like during basically up until like maybe like recently and everything like that, she was not messing with me.
Not jacking you at all.
Like that's
why
as
a person.
Yeah. That's why I say it's the worst. Because it's like I didn't even get to, I never said a word.
Oh, you never got a chance to.
Everything just happened in the background, and then I woke up one day, and then I just remembered, like some people that came up and told me, they was like, "Yo, you like so and so," and I'm like, "Why do y'all know that?"
Yeah, how the fuck do y'all know that?
And then I immediately realized who it was because it was the only person I told in confidence about this, and then next I see her, and what used to be like good energy and everything.
Just not completely gone.
Not like that anymore. Yeah. Just not at all. So I'll say it had to be the worst because I was like, I didn't even get
a chance to rit. He didn't even get a chance for real.
I didn't even get a chance. Not a single chance. Okay, now the best.
And on a good note.
The best. I'm just straight up say what literally happened. I rizzed up an entire friend group of girls.
Oh yeah. I'm ready for this one.
So
let me turn my shit down. Look, I'm yelling.
This happened. This happened last year, in sophomore year.
Okay.
This happened sophomore year. So, one of my friends from another school, and everything like that. We were on FaceTime, and she was like, "Hey, can I take a picture of you real quick?" And I was like, "Sure." Like she was like, actually no, that's not what she said. She said, "Pose real quick." So I posed. Then I see on the thing it says so and so. When it tells you that somebody's taking a picture of you on FaceTime.
Yeah.
Told me that, and I was like, "What are you doing?" And she was like, "Oh, I'm sending this to a friend group." My heart sunk at first because to me, I thought the worst was going to happen.
Yeah,
I was
think they better get to cooking your shit.
I was like getting put in the group chat. I'm getting flamed. Like I'm not surviving this. Then she's over here telling me, she's like, "Oh, they're all giggling and stuff like that, trying to figure out who you are." So then she starts doing a questionnaire with me as if I'm like the Bachelor or something. I have to be all these questions and stuff. And yeah, I think like in that group chat, there might have been like 10 girls in there. And out of the 10, at least like 8 or something were interested from what you could tell. Because there was like 8 active people. All 8 active people were all talking about this and everything. But yeah, but what's funny? Actually, that whole interaction actually leads into my worst date story, which is kind of funny.
Do you want to go into that? Do you want to transition into that one?
No, I can't out myself like that because I'm not going. Because yes, it was my fault. For two reasons. It's not anything like super bad and everything like that. Like honestly, it was chill. But honestly, as a guy, I could see from the girl's perspective how it was just kind of like, ooh,
Yeah,
no.
like he's not the best.
Yeah, like it
Okay.
was definitely one of those where I'm like, dang, man.
So
Like
you did end up getting one of them, and like in that whole group chat friend group, you
because
got
out of the
one.
whole group chat, because she told me she was telling me she's like, oh, this interested, but she was like, but this one in particular is the most
Okay,
interested.
okay.
So that's the person I ended up
Going on a date with.
and everything. But then that ended up turning into
The worst date.
the worst
Date story. Dang.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe we'll get. Could you give like the skeleton of like what was the thing that was like, okay, this was the worst, like just one part of it,
One part of it.
like an outer skeleton of it. We don't need like
you kind of know this too. 'Cause I think I told you.
I know the story. I'm just gonna act like I don't.
Yeah,
I know the story. I'm just gonna act like I don't.
Yeah. So oh God. Okay. So basically, I'm gonna explain the whole context before people get all me and be like, well, why would you do that?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. It needs a bit of background context. Like,
So
trust.
that day, during this month, we were at my church. We were preparing for this thing called worship night, which is like this big, like kind of like choir thing where we sing a bunch of songs and everything, and then it was going to be a whole thing, right? So that day, the same day as the day earlier that day, I had practice. I was expected to get out of practice at a specific time, but we ended up going an hour over.
Okay.
So I was like, okay. Problem was, I had my scooter with me at the time. And in my mind, I was like, oh shoot, what do I do? It was either I go back to the crib, go back to the crib, then have to take the T over to where the date was, which was at Newberry Street. And if I did that, I would be at like 15, 20 minutes late.
Yeah.
Getting there.
This was the first date.
The first day.
Yeah,
and I was like, I can't be late for the first day. That looks bad. But the only other way to work out was I would scoot straight from the situation straight there, but I would have my scooter the whole time. Yeah. So that was the one L. I had my scooter the whole time because I chose to be early, but I had the scooter.
First of all, people watching, we're gonna do this in categories. L or W move. Was that like based off what he just said?
They gonna say it's an L move.
No, not like, but does it make that? Because I could see, well, obviously looking in hindsight after the fact, it's like, all right, maybe you shouldn't have done that. But it's like, okay, was it a good thought process? That's the first thing. Was it a good thought process to just say,
because
I mean, because
I could have texted her and be like, oh, I'm gonna be a little bit late. But then, like, I didn't want her to get this like conception of me that's like, oh, is he like normally always gonna be like late for stuff and everything? But but I think turns out even when I got there, I think she was like
wasn't there herself.
Like 5-10 minutes late.
Yeah.
Pulled to the place. So I was like, oh, okay. So maybe I could have came back and it wouldn't have been that bad. But I chose to be on time because that's just how I was raised. Okay, so I chose to be on time. But once again, I had
the scooter,
which just L move.
So was that the only L move, or was that the first? Was that led into stuff?
That was the first L move. The second L move, I don't know if I really want to say that one on camera, because that one's really like y'all will be like, come on, man. that'd be
Kevin's shaking his head right now.
That would be that would be that boozy clip to be like, come on, man.
Let's hear it.
Okay. So we ended up trying to find a place to get food. Which, actually, I'll say that's the second L move. Second L move, I didn't have a food place thought out.
You didn't already have the plan. You didn't already have a plan.
Because the plan was we went to this little comic store there, Newberry Comics. Yeah. We went there, right, because I knew she liked like stuff like that. And I like stuff like that too. So I was like, this could be a time we could bond, talk about this different stuff, right? Went from there. And then my thought process was when I was going to ask her where she wanted to go get food. Because I was like, I don't want to choose a food place and then she's not going to like the food. Yeah. And then she's going to be on me about me choosing a food place. So I let her choose. She chose Cane's. We went to that Cane's there on Newberry. That Cane's there on Newberry was packed. Line coming out of the Cane's. I was like, I don't think myself. I'm like, this is one of the worst things that could be happening right now for the Cane's to have this long line. So I was like, okay, had to pivot. So we ended up going to this like Vietnamese place that was there, right? She ended up trying it. I like my food. Turns out she didn't really like her food that much. So I was like, shoot, it ended up happening anyways. Yeah. So then we get up and it's time, to pay the bill. So I go And I
Wait. All right, continue.
so I go, and at first I go and I fully pay the bill.
Oh, okay.
Like I go up and I fully pay the bill. But then I'm sitting in the chair, and she's sitting here like telling me, she was like, "Are you sure? You positive?" Like she keeps like she asked me at least like 5 times, "Am I sure about fully paying the bill
How much was the
for
bill?
the food?" It wasn't even that much. It was like maybe like in total 40
Oh, that's cool.
for food, 40, 50. Yeah. So you kept asking me like, "You want to keep food? Do you want to fully pay for the food?" And I'm like, "Yeah." Like,
Yeah, of course. I brought you on a date.
and I'm like, "Yeah," but like she's like, I don't know how to explain it. It felt like I was getting guilt tripped. Like, and I'm like, why am I getting guilt tripped for like paying the whole bill? Like, why do you like keep pressing the envelope about me paying the bill? I don't pay the bill. So now I go to the bathroom, and while I'm in the bathroom, I'm thinking about it. I'm like, dang, because the thing was too, I was thinking in the future, and I knew I had like another engagement that I was gonna have to drop a good amount of money on in the week as well. And I was like, I still gotta do that, and then figure out stuff for food and other things. So then it got in my head, and I'm thinking like, do I really want to pay the full amount for this bill and everything? And like, and and I was like, So then turns out I come out right. So it turns out I come out right. The lady comes over, right? And she's like, oh, and she was like, oh, something had like went wrong and everything like that. We're paying it the first time. You want to try paying it again? And I had the money in my account. So I checked my account. I had the money. So I was like, okay, I guess something on their system that went wrong, because I didn't get no message saying like, hey, declined.
Yeah,
like,
you didn't even charge you at all.
Yeah, it went through. But that's the thing. It went through.
So you already lost the money.
I already lost the money. It had to be reimbursed to me. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. But it was gonna take a day or two to get reimbursed to me. So then when she asked, "Do you want to pay the full amount again?" She looked at me. She was like, "Do you want to pay the full amount again?" And I'm like, that means I'm about to have to drop 80 to 100. Yeah. Because I already paid the full amount. It declined. It declined on their end, but it went through on my end, and I was gonna have to wait at least 2-3 days for the bank to send the money back to me. So then when she asked again, I was like, let's split.
Yeah, I fuck that. His goes like, fuck that shit.
So then we ended up splitting the bill. So that's the third L. I split the bill. That was the third L. I split the bill.
How you feel about that, Kev? The whole But he already paid.
But that's the thing. That's the thing. I paid in full. It went in through my end.
So he would have had to double pay.
So I was gonna have to double. I knew I was gonna get the money, but like I said, I had other engagements coming up in the week where I was gonna need that money.
He's admitting now that it's an L, but I'm just saying in that moment,
I admit it's still L because later on when I saw the engagements and how much I actually spent, I was like, dang, I could have just doubled on the date. Yeah. I know now that I could have just did it, but I was scared in the moment that I was like, and plus I wasn't getting paid that week. It was one of my weeks where I wasn't getting paid, so I was like. I was like, this is just not.
Yeah, not an expense I'm trying to have like, my whole.
It didn't look. Yeah. It didn't look.
That's
good.
For like you don't want all your future things to rely on this one day. I'd be sick. Personally, I'd be sick. If all my expenses relied on this one moment. Like,
you know what I'm saying? No, and imagine if I did do it and then she still didn't like it anyways because of the whole ordeal with the scooter and everything. Then that would have mean that I doubled my money. I doubled my money, and then she still went going. Yeah. So you know what I'm saying? It turns out.
But you still ended up having losing more money out of your account than you should have because the thing denied when it shouldn't have. But
yeah, it
is what it is.
Overall, the whole thing was just an L. Like I know going forward in the future for the ladies, before y'all comment in the comments about this, I know in the future what I would do different and stuff like that with just like in terms of just like dates like that. And honestly, that was my first and truly only L that I've ever had on a date. So that's why I kind of that's why I also kind of caught me off guard because I was like, I never thought I'd have a date L. Like I legitimately, all my other ones have always gone great. Yeah. So for this one to have gone bad, I was like, dang. I was like, am I losing my edge? I was like, what's going on? I was like, what's going on?
Yeah, no, yeah. He's told us other. I already knew this story, and I knew the other one. He's told us other date stories. I promise y'all. All the ones that he reported back to
Hey,
us have been good. This is the
look,
first L that I
please.
heard. So
Look.
it's just, you feel me? It's just a story at the end of the day. We just giving entertainment. But yeah, I don't got a worse date story, unfortunately. I ain't never been on a date in college, so yeah, I don't got nothing. You ahead of me already. So I got no worse, I don't got no best. But it is what it is. I wanted to what was the question I was gonna ask? Oh yeah, there was a different question I was gonna ask was would you ever tell your partner not like to stop speaking to someone?
Ooh.
Like whether it be one of their friends, whether it be an ex, whether it be someone that they just know, like would you ever tell them to stop speaking to them?
It depends, right? Because here's my thing. When I go into my mindset, when I'm meeting someone new when I'm taking, let's say I'm in a relationship with this person, right? I'm taking them seriously. My thing is, I'm like, they have had a whole life before me, right? And I know there's going to be people from that life that's going to come back up again eventually, right? So, especially if it's like friends, like let's say like they had like a guy best friend before I got in there.
Yeah.
You know, what am I supposed to do? I'm supposed to tell you that your guy best friend of 7 years or something like that. I'm supposed to tell you like you known homeboy since like what, like middle school or something. I'm supposed to tell you that you can't talk to him anymore and everything now that I'm here. Like no.
Yeah, that's fair.
Like in those circumstances, no, because I'm like, yo, you've been with this, like if you've been with this guy for 7 years as a friend, I don't see that like
changing now after
really
7 years.
After 7 years,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Like, it depends on the interactions that I see. You know what I'm saying? Then that's when I might like, let's say like, even if it's her ex, if I never see her have an interaction with her ex, I don't think I need to bring it up.
Yeah, there's
you know
no point in like saying nothing.
But let's say like one day a day does come up and homeboy is like he actually is there in person and I see him and I'm like, is that her ex? And then she's talking to him and I'm like, yo, is that your ex? And then she's like, oh yeah, you know, he had just like came over and then like, let's say like an event she was happening or something like that. He's like, oh yeah, he just happened to like come over or something, like happened to come over. You hosted the event, didn't you invite her?
You hosted the event.
That's when I might need to start asking more questions and stuff.
So
like,
only when like it genuinely makes sense.
Only when it genuinely makes sense. Because I feel like most of the times whenever people do something like that, it's out of fear that like somebody's gonna come in and like swoop and take her.
Yeah. Which, without that fear, he's Isaac.
Which in my mind, I'm like, if you're worrying about somebody having to take her, then maybe you don't need to date her because then maybe in your mind you're like, I'm not confident enough to like be able to hold her down, like you know. And that, in my opinion, I'm like, if you can't do that, then you don't need to date her in the first place.
He's kind of cooking
because
he's kind of cooking.
Because I mean, you like. For you to be afraid about other people, like that's kind of crazy. Like that, like to be having a rational fear, like, oh, what if like some like famous celebrity someday comes and swoops her off her feet? Like, what are you doing? Like, she likes she loves you. Okay, if she said it out her mouth, she loves you. She loves you. So just be confident in that. Like, I get you see all these stories
sometimes
nowadays.
You gotta be DTB. Sometimes you gotta be DTB. I'm not even a DTB kind of guy, but sometimes you gotta be DTB. It's just the truth of the matter.
You do, and I get it with like how the dating market is nowadays. Like I get it. Like you definitely like. I'm not saying be gullible. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying be gullible, but I'm saying also be confident.
Be confident. That's
like, because a lot of times that irrational fear that's like an ick. That's a ick for a lot of women.
Yeah. Even forgot like nobody likes somebody who's just like mad
like paranoid, like a paranoid person.
Bro, you're doing too much.
You know what I'm saying? Like, don't be paranoid. Like, obviously, you know, sometimes be a little inquisitive. Like, you know, like kind of ask questions, but don't be asking it in kind of the vein of like, oh, I need to like keep my eyes on her 24/7. Because then if you can't trust her,
that's one thing. If you can't trust them, bro, that's probably one of the most important stuff. That's like, I think trust and loyalty is just a given. Like, bro, that should just like, that's why I don't even put it in like some of my must-haves. Like, bro, that's just a given as a human, as a person. Like, why am I putting this in my list of things that you had? Like, come on, same way like you shouldn't lie, you shouldn't Like, I think it's just a given. But yeah, trust. If you don't trust them, bro, like my partner. Like, if I have my partner, bro, I just trust her to the max because I'm going to give myself that peace of mind. I'm not even going to be stressing myself out. Nah, I'm not doing all that stuff. I'm going to give myself the peace of mind by just trusting them and hoping that they have the same consideration for my feelings that I have for theirs 24/7. Turn this up a little, it's kind of low, but that I have for theirs 24/7. So that's the way I be thinking about it.
Yeah.
But what about if they tried to press you about blocking somebody? Now I'm gonna give you a real situation, right? Boom. Let's say it's do you have a girl best friend?
Do I have a girl best friend? Kind of.
Okay. So let's say it's your literal girl best friend, right?
Mm-hmm.
She's like, yo, I'm not liking this. She's like, I don't like this. I don't really like how much you talk to her, da 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 da. And she's like, I want you to stop talking to her as much. Not block her, but she's like, I just want you to stop talking to her as much. What are you gonna do?
I feel like it also depends on the situation. But honestly,
knowing the relationship that you have, so knowing how you already act with them, whether or not you think it's too much, da da da, like the real life relation you already have.
Honestly, I feel like honestly my next question would have to just come back down to that trust thing. Be like, do you trust me? Like, because I feel like if you asking a question like that, I feel like to a certain level you do not trust me with this person. That's why you want me to stop talking less with that person. Just come down to that. But most likely, honestly, I feel like to me that's a red flag.
Okay.
To me, if you like pressing me about like the girl best friend. If it was an ex, I understand. Like if it was my ex, then I'm that's like, fair. Yeah.
That's fair. I could get down with that.
But if it's like somebody, like I said, if it's somebody I've known, like, in fact, even like the girl I'm thinking of in my mind, I've known her for 5 years. You know what I'm saying? And who knows at what point when I meet whoever else, you know, how much longer that, you know, relationship between me will be. So it's like, you're really pressing me about this relationship that I've had with this person for 5 years. 5 years. You've been here for like, let's say 3 months. You're pressing me about a relationship I have for 5 years. Yeah. No.
like watch out, bro. Like you're just doing too much of this.
Like that's crazy. Like at that point, like that's giving me like red flags or like giving me like that idea that like you're kind of paranoid or you don't have as much like. And I get it. Like it's only been 3 months, so you might not be as trusting. But like all I'm asking you to do is to have faith in me. Like especially when it comes to the people I interact with. You know.
That's fair. That's fair. Do you think you have any red flags?
Do I think I have any red flags? If I'm being honest. I mean, everybody has red flags.
Yeah, everybody do. It don't gotta be nothing. Hopefully, it's nothing crazy. But like, do you think you have any, or even ones that maybe other people would identify in you that you wouldn't necessarily think?
Yeah, I know some.
Classify.
I know some. The first one that came to my head, I'm picky.
Like with your partner or with food? Like what you mean?
Partner.
Okay. I was like, what you mean? Okay.
Like I realized from like previous relationship and stuff like that like I didn't realize how like picky I was with certain things. Like there's like certain things I was kind of like kind of like almost like asking her to be like, yo, like are you sure about these like I didn't realize like how picky I could be about certain stuff. So like I kind of had to like clock myself about that because I'm like, bro, you be like mad picky about things. Like sometimes like in terms of like just like stuff about her, which was crazy, you know.
Oh, like traits about her.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Like I didn't realize, and it was one of those things where I realized afterwards, I was like, okay, maybe next time you should have a longer talking phase so that you know these things going in, so that you don't go in and then you get surprised with it. And then you're being picky. Like, but I would say picky. Picky, I feel like strong opinions. Sometimes I do have strong opinions on certain things, not as strong opinions about a lot of things. I feel like most of my strong opinions just like come from like stuff like religion, maybe some things with like politics or whatever and things like that. But like honestly, I feel like those only come up in those conversations.
Yeah, like you're not just gonna out of nowhere just like drop that conversation or something like that.
But that I feel like sometimes I can definitely be like too active, doing too much sometimes.
Okay.
Like I'm doing way too many things to the point to where sometimes like my partner's like, yo, like are you like what's going on? Like you know, like I haven't heard from you in like a long time because I'm like over here scatterbrained, like a little I say scatterbrained.
Okay.
I could be scatterbrained sometimes, like a little all over the place. But eventually, obviously, like I come back
you
and
lock in,
reset
you
myself.
get back.
But I'd
Okay,
say
okay.
that's like the ones I can really think off
Okay.
the top of my head.
That's fair. For myself, red flags. Ugh, you know, I like to try to think of myself in the best light, but as of course everybody got their things. Let me think. Red flags. I'll say okay, one that I defended for a long time. Oh, that's one thing. I'm defensive, but not with my partner though. Like like what I'm gonna say aren't even just like with a part. Like with my partner, I'm not like that defensive. Like I'm honestly like chill. I don't really like I don't argue. Like I don't like to argue. Like I'm pretty chill. But like just as a person, I'd be defensive sometimes. Like I'd be like, and I know where like that comes from. I know it comes from back home. Like niggas just are always trying to roast and be on your ass, and you can't let that shit slide. So like you just always gotta have a comeback for everything. So like just in my everyday relationships, I be having a comeback for everything. In sometimes moments that people weren't even coming at me, I have a comeback for it. But like I don't think it's that deep to be honest. Just because it's not with relation. I only do it with my friends, and like most of the time it's like non-serious situations. Like it's jokes. But it is something that I clock and I notice. I'd be defensive. But as far as like relationship stuff, I'd say probably like I used to do it a lot more. I think I got a lot better at it. Was like try to be I think like I was gonna say try to be like considerate. I think I'm a considerate person, but considerate to the extent where like I really just say, okay, let me just do this out of like instead of trying to make it like a thing of like who's right and who's wrong, let me just do this for them. Like, let me just do this or say this because it made them feel a certain type of way rather than trying to find the right and wrong. And like, let's say there was an argument or disagreement. Instead of trying to find the right or wrong in it, who's correct and who's not, let me just apologize just because it did make them feel a way that I
So you
don't want to make
gaslight,
them feel.
but in a positive way.
No, I don't gaslight. How is that the deduction you came to? How the fuck is that the deduction you came to?
Because you're saying you say certain things because you know will get a positive, you know they'll have a more positive reaction about it, they'll feel better, but it doesn't change the actual like problem about them. So it will come back up again. But you're
No,
saying
it's not necessarily a problem like about them. It'll be like just a disagreement. And again, like I said,
okay.
I'm a defensive person sometimes. So like yeah, it does come out sometimes even in relationship stuff. So it's like instead of just saying like sometimes things that you talk about just aren't that deep. Like it's really not that serious. It's just
Yeah.
not something that we need to be talking about. So instead of me just saying like, all
Oh,
right,
I wouldn't say that's a red flag then.
okay.
I mean,
I don't know. I'm just trying to like pick at
because
things.
what you're saying is like you're basically saying if it's like an argument that's not that deep, then like you'll just take the L on it or whatever, or like you'll just be like, oh, it's okay, and like or whatever.
Yeah, I got like before I would kind of just like if it was something that to me wasn't that deep, I'd kind of just like brush it off. I'd just be like, all right, like I just like I wouldn't argue with you. I'd just be like, all right, but I'm not about to like I wouldn't apologize neither. I wouldn't be like, oh, you're right because
but
you're
you're not
not.
gonna
Like I'm not gonna say you're right because you're not. But I just kind of just be like, all
I don't
right,
think
like
I don't think
whatever.
I don't think that's an actual red flag.
Okay,
Honestly,
I don't know.
Because I mean, even though you're not apologizing, like I feel like the red flag would be like if you kept the argument going.
No.
Like if
I
you were
don't- I'm not
actually
about
if you were
doing that.
actually the argumentative type and you argued about every small little thing. But since you recognize that it's small little things and you just are like, it is what it is. I think that's a green flag. Actually, I don't think that's a red flag.
Hey man, I appreciate it. I'm really just trying to like nitpick at certain things just to not make it seem like I think of myself as this like perfect person. But I don't know. I think I'd be a pretty good partner personally. And another one that I used to hear a lot was that I'm friendly, which I will not.
I can see that.
Stop, bro. I will not. I will fight that. No, I'm a friendly person. Like, don't get it. I'm a good, nice person. But the way that they mean it, I know the way that they mean it. But that's one that I've always heard a lot. Really, the main and only one that I've ever heard from other people is that I'm friendly. But I don't. Whatever. Leave me alone. But
so you would be the one getting the question for your girl talking about something.
Not
a little bit too friendly with that.
Bro, my girl would not have to worry about my loyalty to her. Like there's like I'm like especially all right. I got again all these things, bro. I'm 20 now, like, and I still like I'm only 20 / I'm like, it's like a way that you could think of it like you're still so young, and a way that you could think of it and you matured. So like I'm 20, like of course I used to be a different way, and of course there's more room to improve. I ain't never been like a disloyal like person. I ain't never cheated or nothing like brazy like that. But there's definitely been things in the past that I'm like, I'm going to avoid that in the future. Like certain interactions and certain stuff that I do just because it's like, again, to me, it's just not that, like, that's just how I am. Like, it's just not that deep. But like, it's not that deep to me. But now seeing it in the future, I could be like, okay, it's not that deep to me, but it could be deep for my partner. So I'm just going to avoid it. Like, it'll just make my life easier. It'll make their life easier. I'm good either way. Like, I'm good with or without it, but they may not be good with, like, I'm good whether or not I do it. They may not be good if I do it. So let me just not do it. Yeah. Like if that makes, that's just the most simple, basic way for me to say it. But yeah, I've honestly, like I said, I think I've improved with a lot of things of mine, including the friendliness that I've always been accused of. But nah, she wouldn't have to be worrying about. She wouldn't have to be staying up on the, you feel me, stomach. Yeah. I've had my friends tell me that in the past that my girl's stomach would be twisting and turning while I'm out. It will not. Yeah. She'll be good.
Nah, fact, I can say the same thing for like mine too. Like the pickiness, the scatterbrainness. Like obviously, like used to be way more prevalent. Like in years past, but I feel like now I've gotten a better like grip on it where I'm like. I can recognize when I'm doing it, and I'm like, oh, this is bad. Like I can calm down. Like I could obviously understand, and I feel like sometimes it can be hard in the moment. Oh, I thought of another one. Okay, all right. This is the last one I'll say.
Oh yeah,
but I do like being right.
Okay,
I like being the person that's right. So. Sometimes, even when I know I'm in the wrong, I'm still gonna try to press to be like I'm the one that's right. Okay. Which some people can say is argumentative, and I'll give you that. Yeah. But I won't. But honestly, most of the time, even when like you said, when arguments come up, it's like if it's something really small, I'll brush it off. But if it's like something that I think is a little bigger than that, then sometimes that's when that like Mr. Right tries to come out and be like, "Hey, like at the end of the day, you gonna understand my perspective." Yeah. Like. Okay. But I couldn't link knowing that they can understand your perspective and still think you're wrong, instead of having it to be they have to understand that I'm right and understand my perspective. Like I didn't realize that those were two different things, and now I know there's two different things where I'm like they could still understand where I'm coming from, still think I'm wrong. Like
that's fair. See, we gonna end off on an uplifting note. My dog is accountable. He like not even just from this conversation. I'm just saying this like genuinely, like in general, he be holding himself accountable, man. He knows when he's right, when he's wrong. He always tries to improve himself. So I think that's a plus thing right there. Shout out. But of course. But now we're at hour 12. I keep trying to tell you I'm gonna keep it under an hour, and I never do. So we're gonna, you feel me, start to end it off. But I just want to ask some of the final questions. What we already kind of talked about some future goals, so I'm just gonna ask you, give some motivational words for the people.
Motivational words. Okay. I was trying to think about this before I got here. I'll say with everything that you do in your life, be balanced. I think balance is such a big thing that sometimes people forget in life. Like a lot of people are always trying to figure out, oh, how can I be happy? How can I have peace in my life? I'm like, sometimes it's just, there's certain things in your life that are just unbalanced, that are not balanced. Like whether it's like your school work, like your school life with your work life with your social life, like, are you balancing your mental with your physical, spiritual, all that stuff? Like, I feel like every now and then you'll get into it and you'll like be stuck thinking to yourself like, man, like how did I get here? And it's like, well, you have to recognize that you're a part of the problem. I think that's another thing too. Recognize you're part of the problem and be okay with that. Understand that like there's things about you right now that do need to change if you want this certain problem to be out of your life. And then I'd say to any like freshmen coming in and stuff, like be yourself, please.
Yeah, like that's very heavy on that. Honestly, I'm backing that.
Be yourself. I feel like I came in freshman year trying to be someone else,
Mhm.
and it didn't work.
Mhm.
It really didn't work.
Yeah.
I came in and I realized there were parts of me I was still me, but there were parts of me that I wasn't really showing
Mhm.
because like in the past those parts were like I used to be like clowned on stuff like that. Like for example, like being like a goofy person. Like I would say like I'm definitely like a goofy person. Like
Mhm.
and like I used to like try to stray away from that because
Mhm.
you know in the past that's how I got into all this stuff where like oh whole crowds of people, oh people laughing at me and stuff
Mhm.
like. But eventually I just kind of like I want to say like I got used to it, but it's more so like I look at it from a different perspective
Mhm.
now.
When you change your perspective, that's what did Kevin Gates say? When you change your perspective, that's what y'all know the Kevin Gates memes. Golly, continue.
But yeah, but be yourself, you know. Don't worry if you miss out on things. Like I feel like that's another thing too.
FOMO.
So, yeah, FOMO. Like FOMO is crap, especially when it comes to college.
Yeah.
Like do what is going to put you in the best position.
Mm.
Like if that party is not going to put you in the best position afterwards and everything, then don't go.
Yeah.
Like
That's actually a fact. If that party is gonna put you behind a day or two on your homework, bro, don't go. Trust me. Like
I feel like you can
trust me. Yeah, what are you gonna
I
say?
feel like you can agree with me
Yes,
on this where it's
I can
like
vouch for that.
where it's like we went to like too many parties.
Yeah.
Between freshman, I would say between freshman and even sophomore year.
Yeah.
Just like anytime there was an event, it's like, oh, we gotta be there. Like, let's go.
Yeah.
Like I'm like now I'm just kind of like going to junior. Like I'm hanging my
yeah.
I'm hanging my
I'm
jersey.
ready. Like I don't necessarily regret the amount that I went to or the one. There are some that like I wish I could have easily not went to, but it's not to the point where it's like, man, I really shouldn't have done that. But it's like I very easily could have not went to about 50% of the parties that I did go to, and I would be just fine.
Yeah,
like I would live the
lose
same.
a single.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, I would not
like,
lose. I would not bat an eye. I could have missed 50% of the stuff I went to, and I'd be fine.
Because like I think the other thing too is I realized that was another part of me where it's like I felt like I was putting on a persona to try to be this person. I realized I'm really not a party person. I'm more of like a social gathering. We get together, especially after this summer, after having like doing like a cookout and all these different like Sunday dinners and stuff, and having that like time to do gatherings like that. I enjoy that so much more than like going to a party and all we doing is just kind of like standing around and then like if you're dancing and then like people shaking that like you know
the usual party stuff.
You know what I'm saying? Like to me, I guess like eventually it just kind of felt like the same old, and like honestly, like I would be there and I would be bored. I'd be bored at the party. So like if I'm bored at the party, then like yeah,
There's
like
no point where you there.
I could have used that time to help get better. Like especially when I knew there was sometimes I went to a party knowing that I had an exam the next day.
Yeah, there was
like,
dead times where I was editing TikToks at parties.
But I thought to myself,
I've actually edited TikToks at parties.
But I thought to myself, I was like, oh, I'm already prepared enough. You know, like what's an hour or two of me missing like studying going to do to me when I know now an hour or two of studying could have made or break me getting what could have been maybe like a A or A minus to now getting like a B minus. Like, you know, there were times where like, you know, or even getting a C. Like there are times where I could have stayed and I know I could have did something more and it probably would have improved my grade. But instead I sacrificed the grade because I would for the fear of missing out. Don't do that. FOMO is trash. FOMO is trash. Peer pressure is trash. Don't let anybody pressure you into doing anything. You know, and be yourself, man, and enjoy it. Like I know a lot of times we crap on our own school and stuff like that about certain things, but like honestly, like BU has, to me, I feel like at least I can speak for the Black community. We have a great community of people. Like come, have fun, make lifelong friends and everything. Maybe lifelong partners. Who knows?
Who knows?
Who knows? You know. But yeah, but ultimately be yourself, because that's going to get you so much further and it's going to make you so much happier in the long run. Because, you know, imagine if you do get to the place where you want to be, but you're not happy because you got there being somebody who you are not. Like, then you miss out on all of the joy of finally making it to that prize, of finally making it to the end. So don't do that. Be yourself.
Be yourself, man. You heard it from Isaac right here. That's the main thing. He gave you a lot. Be yourself. FOMO, peer pressure. Were those three?
Yeah,
I think those.
I feel like that to me. I feel like that's the big three
Okay.
coming in freshman year and
Okay.
everything.
Oh yeah, that was for freshmen specifically. So yeah, so freshmen, that really applies to everyone, but freshmen, those
Yeah.
three.
I feel like that's like the big three. Like obviously, I could tell you try to do better with managing your money, but you're a freshman. I know you're most likely not going to do the right things with your money, and it's okay. You'll learn.
Yeah,
you'll
be
learn.
alright.
You'll learn over time. You'll be all right.
You'll
like,
be alright. Yeah. For me, for my little motivational and advice to y'all, of course, is always keep God in your life, keep trusting in God.
Yeah.
And I saw a TikTok. I wanna try to find this TikTok. I seen it a minute ago. It was like a little bit ago that I saw the TikTok. It's in my reposts. Don't stalk my reposts, please. Thank you.
Yeah, that's the other thing too. To the Christian viewers, I'll say this is the Christian viewers. To the Christian viewers, that's the other thing I'll say. That's another way where I felt like I really wasn't myself. When I came to college, I wasn't really engaged in church as much as I wish I was freshman year and stuff. And obviously that led me into like leading myself back into doing more like what I guess you would consider to be like worldly stuff, like getting partying, drinking, all that different stuff, you know. And obviously now there's certain parts of that I regret and everything, but I would say that's the other thing too. Just, even if it's something that's not the popular opinion of the public, don't compromise on that. If you're a Christian, don't compromise on that. You know, if that's part of who you are, like whatever religion it is, whether you're Christian, Muslim, you know, you're Jewish, don't compromise on that. You know, that's a big part of your life. Your spirit, who you are, like your soul and everything. That's a big part of your life. Don't compromise on that just because you hear some other people over talking about like, oh, that's kind of weird and everything like that, like being Christian. Especially since it's college and you have people from all kinds of different walks of life. You're going to hear people who are going to, you know, kind of challenge you about your religion and stuff. That's the whole point. You're in college. You people challenge you about your religion. People challenge you about your politics, race, everything. Like, so don't compromise on that just because
surround yourself around people who also not just like don't surround yourself around people that just like agree with everything you say. That's not like surround yourself around people who are in support of your beliefs and what you want to do.
Okay. This is an academic one. Sorry,
I
know we're going over.
Go ahead. Hey,
but surround yourself with people who you think are smarter than you. I'll say it like this. In my classes, there were some classes I wish I knew there were people who really knew what the material was, but I realized my friends, the ones who I stuck with and everything, I still stick with them to this day. It was like, imagine being in a room, right? Everybody's trying to figure out the problem. And you know there's people on one side who know how to figure out the problem, right? But you stay with your friends who don't know how to figure out the problem. You're going to sit there and you're still not going to know how to do the problem by the end of class because you chose to stick with your friends who don't know how to do the problem instead of to branch out and talk to other people who branch out. Know people in your classes and stuff. Don't be afraid to be the person who might sit, you maybe not the front row, but maybe like the row behind them or something like that. You know, like...
No, that's I could definitely I like that analogy that he is that an I think that would be an analogy. But whatever he used, that example that he used right there.
Because it's like garbage in, garbage out. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? If you are surrounding yourself with people who don't have knowledge, you yourself are not gonna have knowledge. If you surround your people with people who do have the knowledge, then you'll either be inspired to get the knowledge yourself or you'll be able to get the knowledge from the people around you. So I would say definitely do that. And like just do that in general, even with stuff outside of classes. There's so many different types of intelligence. Like there's book smarts, of course, but there's also street smarts. You know, there's emotional intelligence, all this different stuff. You know, find people who you know are at least better than you in at least one of those departments. And one of those, because I feel like that's how I am now with even with our friend group, right? There's at least something I can name about everybody in our friend group that I'm like, you are better than me in this department. And it encourages me to want to be better in that department. You know, you want to be with people that you know you will grow around, that you won't just be stagnant. That's the better way to put it. Be with people who are not smarter than you, but you will be able to grow with, be able to be encouraged to grow with. That's the better way to put it.
That's I like how he fixed it. Not fit, but like changed the way he put it. But I'm gonna give you all this TikTok real quick. Let me turn it up.
Lazy people do a little work and think they should be winning. But winners work as hard as possible and still worry if they're being lazy.
That's the way I like to live my life, man.
Yeah.
That's the way I like to
And
live my life.
and that's facts. That's facts. Like I realized that too. Like I was telling my friends, like as soon as like the school year starts, I'm deleting Instagram off my phone because I realized there's so many hours, even this summer, that was like just be scrolling, just sitting there, just so because like I don't even really use TikTok like that, so I didn't have to worry about TikTok. But Instagram, like sometimes I'm just sitting there and like something clicked in my head where I'm like, why am I watching other people be successful when I could just go out and go be successful for myself? I feel like sometimes we get stuck in that loop where like we're watching other people. Like it's good to obviously be inspired by other people in terms of success. But I feel like sometimes you get caught up watching other people be successful that you don't realize you're not moving. Like you're watching everybody else run the race, but you're still
You're
like
not even doing. Yeah,
you're at the start
watching.
line. Like you're still just kind of sitting there watching everybody else. Like at this point, you got binoculars over here watching everybody else run off when instead you could be running with them. And I feel like that's part of the reason, like, you know, you have so many people that's like, oh, well, you know, I want to be able to do this, but I just don't think I could do it because I see all of this. Like, you know, they get caught up in the analysis paralysis where they're just analyzing, looking at so many different things that they don't move or ever make a move because they're too busy stuck in that analysis of watching, looking at everything, they're not doing anything. So that's another one too. That's another gym. But yeah, I realized I was like, as soon as school year started, I was like, yeah, I at least feel like a month it needs to like be off my phone so I could just focus on getting the stuff done I want to get done. Because like I said, like I was saying earlier, like I have projects and stuff that I'm thinking about doing, like stuff in research, stuff towards whatever the next internship is going to be. I need to like lock in and really like actually do the work so that this can happen. I can't just like sit and wish and pray that it happens. You know, I need to actually do the work. So for me, I'm like, I need to eliminate some stuff that's distracted me. So Instagram is one of them. So it's getting off my phone.
That's fair. For me, it's probably TikTok. I be in TikTok a lot, but I don't think it's really a distraction for me personally. I use it a lot, but that's because I have a lot of free time, which again, like that TikTok was so like, I like that TikTok so much because I have a lot of free time and like, I'm always trying to do something with that free time. I'm always trying to make money. I'm always trying to like move closer towards with the podcast and just internet stuff. And every single day I'm like, yo, like I need to be doing more. Like I'm not doing enough, da 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 da. So I don't know. I think like it just helps me think, okay, you are doing a good amount, because he's like the second part of it was successful people do a lot and still worry if they're being lazy. So hopefully that's the spectrum, the end of the spectrum that I'm on, not on the lazy side. But
yeah there was another one like that where it was like, it was talking like, it was like, what was it? It was like poor people. Oh Lord, you might know this. It's like poor people talk about, I think it's like they talk about money but then don't do anything. Middle class people like talk about work and then only work, and there's like rich people talk about ideas. I'm probably saying it wrong. Hold on. I'm gonna see.
You could try to find it.
I'm gonna see if I could try to.
You gotta try to find it. But yeah, that's pretty much my motivation for the day. I don't got much else for y'all. Just keep working hard. Don't be lazy. Don't be lazy at all. Keep working. Keep hustling. That's what we be doing out here. But while he looks up for his thing, I'm gonna answer the final question for y'all, which is always the ultimate goal question. My ultimate goal question: be a talk show host. Go ahead.
Okay, I found it. It's poor people talk about money. What is it? Rich, or I guess middle class or rich people talk about things. Wealthy people talk about ideas.
Okay.
And it's like basically saying like, sometimes like you get caught up too much in your situation that you don't realize like what you need to actually be focusing on. So like obviously poor people are caught up in the situation, they're focused on money. They're like the only thing they talk about is money. Whereas like with wealthy people, they became as wealthy as they are because they were thinking about ideas on how to, you know, ideas that led them to becoming that wealthy. So it's like basically saying like, be a little creative. Like think outside the box.
For sure. Okay. Do you have your ultimate goal on top of your head?
Ultimate goal.
You answer as you please.
ultimate goal, I want to honestly. This is one of my ultimate goals. I want to be able to go back and like kind of change my community.
Okay. In
Like,
ATL.
yeah, well, specifically where I'm from in Decatur, Georgia. Shout out Decatur. Decatur was great by Southwest DeKalb, high school, all that. Gotta make sure people know Candler Road, all that. But because for me, like, I wanted, like, now that I see what it's like, I feel like coming here has felt like almost going to the other side. Like, in my community wasn't always like the wealthiest and stuff like that. But now coming to a place here where I feel like even like with the kids we go to school with, I'm like I hear about people's parents being like doctors, lawyers, all this different stuff. I'm like, man, I'm like, y'all, like even though they may not think that they have money, I'm like, y'all are well off to a certain extent. You know, there's a good amount of people like that at the school, you know. And from meeting all these like meeting CEOs, all this different stuff, just like people that I never thought in my life I'd really be meeting like that. I realized I'm in a really good position where I can now, like, this network that I have, if I leverage it right, I could do some amazing and great things, like eventually one day, like one day, like when we're making money and stuff, like could be able to go back to my community and actually like influence kids to, you know, get into STEM. You know, I never really heard that much growing up. There wasn't many people in my community talking to me about engineering.
Definitely not for us.
I kind of just found out about it through like a Google search and stuff. So, you know, I definitely want to push kids into being like, hey, like science and math can be fun. Like this can actually be something cool that you can make your career, you know. Because I feel like that's a lot of times a limiting thing that we say, especially as Black people sometimes, where we like, oh, science and math.
I'm not good at math.
Like,
People
I'm
love
not good.
saying
I'm
that.
not
Bro,
good at
you
math.
could be good
I'm
at
not good
math,
at
bro.
science.
Everybody could be good at math, bro.
I'm like, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, you be good at anything you put your mind to, legitimately. Like, you can be good at anything you put your mind to, but you telling yourself that you're gonna be bad at science and math, then you'll never be good at it, you know. But who knows? You could be the one to find out the next big equation, big theory or whatever. But you'll never reach that point, or you'll never do it because of the fact that you think that you're bad at science and math. So yeah, that, and just like get some stuff restructured, man. I'm tired of looking at cracked roads. Like cracked road, cracked sidewalks, kind of old looking buildings. I'm like, bro, like stuff needs to be renovated. Bro, I remember our community celebrated because a Chipotle opened up on the street. I'm like, that's kind of sad. Like, you know what I'm saying? You know how many communities you know how many communities been had like a Chipotle. Like I remember like normally if we wanted to get Chipotle in our community, we'd have to like drive like up north a little bit to like get to like places like Tucker or Dunwoody or Alpharetta for my people from Atlanta, you know, some more wealthier communities and stuff who have nice roads, nice sidewalks, all this stuff. And obviously there is like Chipotle and all these other like different businesses, you know. We got excited, so that Chipotle opened up. We was like, oh my goodness, like we moving up in the world because a Chipotle opened up. I'm like, this is crazy.
It was the same. We was souped at a Popeyes open in our city.
Bro,
we still don't have Chick-fil-A.
That's crazy.
We still don't got no Chick-fil-A. You got to drive to Mass for Chick-fil-A for us.
Now that's wild, because there's at least like 3 Chick-fil-A's within the vicinity of my community. In fact, that one Chick-fil-A that's there on Wesley Chapel, yo, that thing would always be packed, especially on Saturday right before Sunday. Everybody and their mama was trying to get some chicken. Oh my goodness. But I would definitely want to go back and just like try to put money in to get stuff renovated and hold the city of Decatur accountable too. Like I feel like that's the other thing. You gotta teach Black folk how to like vote on other things besides just the major election. I'm like, the reason stuff isn't changing in our community is because our voice is not as big as it needs to be. Like, you need people to be wanting to like push the envelope and like hold certain people accountable. Like there are supposed to be regular people who are supposed to come through to make sure the roads don't look like this. Like the only reason they not here is because nobody's holding them accountable. Hold them accountable. Like that's the other thing too. But yeah, ultimate goal, I want my community to be better, so that, you know, one day I could really be like, yeah, I'm really like I'm already proud being where I'm from, but one day I want to really be like, yeah, like this is it. Like nice streets, you know, kids are excelling, you know, business is booming. Like that's what I want for my community. I want it to be like people look at the area and they're like, yeah, this is the area we would want to live in. You know, not be like this is like, oh, kind of like a like it's like it's all right.
Nah, yeah, I could definitely, coming from like a place that sounds like decently similar, I could definitely get behind that one. Definitely going back and fixing the community up. But I think that's about it. I know I didn't talk as much, but I wanted to give my dog Isaac the flowers I do with every guest. I knew he be talking, man. I knew he was gonna take over. I knew he was gonna make it.
I'm talking about.
I knew he was gonna make it. Talking it out with Isaac today. So I just wanted to give him the flowers I do with every guest. You know what I mean? I try to give them an opportunity to take a whole lifetime and put it into an hour to 2 hours, which is basically impossible to do. So at the end of the day, I'm just gonna sit here and listen, because you know, you only get so many chances to talk and tell your story. When I get multiple, he gets one, hopefully two, if he gets another episode. So if you down, you'll get another episode. But that's about it for talking it out, y'all. Appreciate y'all for listening. As always, this is my dog. Go ahead, shout your socials, whatever you want to shout out.
Okay. Well, you can follow me on Instagram at Isaac.will, except the I is a 1, so it's like 1 SAAC.WILL. You can also, if you want to keep up with the stuff that I'm doing with music, I'm gonna make sure I'm pulling my phone, so I'll make sure I can get
the right one.
Get the exact.
You have an art page too, if you want to shout that out.
Oh yeah, I guess I could. Yeah, my art page is Isaac Makes, and it's IZIC.MAKES. You know, I be like you said, I draw in my free time, so sometimes I'll put drawings and stuff on there. So if you want to see what I do in terms of drawing, you go see that. And then in terms of music, you can follow me at Soulful Sounds. Basically, so Soulful SOULFUL underscore SOUNDZ.
Oh, Z. I thought it was going to end with the S. Z. There we go.
Nah, somebody already had S.
Somebody had the S.
So
fair enough.
We don't have to put the Z on that guy.
For sure. That's my dog Isaac. Go follow him. Y'all already know where to catch me. Personal is what is it right now? I'm .grown. I really don't care about my personal as much. I'm not gonna lie. I'd be so unserious on that. But yeah, y'all know the socials as far as talking it out. It's talking it out on every platform: Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Spotify. We really trying to run it up on TikTok and YouTube and Spotify and Instagram. So everything we're trying to run it up on.
Please follow everything.
Follow everything. Stay up to date. But again, I'm not gonna waste much more of your time. Thank you. We got cameraman Kev watching the cam. Make sure it don't shut off. I don't think they can see it, but he's back there helping out. But anyways, catch you on the next one. Deuces.
If you haven't done so already, make sure to subscribe, like this video right now, and turn on the post notifications. I know I just reminded you. Do it.
Baby, why the sudden change? Say my name, say my name. If no one is around.